Tonight, PUP Kareem praises the UDP for storming into BTL yesterday. He says it was a decent flex. And Etu Kareem is Musa now a boy named Sue. You'll hear why. He's suing 7, Love, and 5. Plus, we'll show you the new packaged sugar that's hitting these shelves. Also, tonight, you'll see the license plates of the vehicle that allegedly abducted Budna. And $14 million for the new St. John's Credit Union headquarters. We'll take you inside. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Inder Krang.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
This January, it's time to jumpstart your 2026 with Cellular World. Stay connected with a new smartphone starting at just $119. Find tablets for kids, students, professionals, and creatives starting as low as $129. Create unforgettable memories at home with clear image and sound on a new smart TV starting at only $369. Take your music everywhere with JBL headphones and speakers that keep up with you on all your adventures. Or level up your fun with the latest video consoles and gaming accessories at the best price. And enjoy a fresh start at home with appliances designed to make everyday life easier. Jumpstart your 2026 at your nearest Cellular World location: Belize City, Belmopan, San Pedro, and Orange Walk. Or contact our virtual store at 615-5141.
18 million. That's how much the Briseño family stands to make from the sale of Smart to BTL.
What is the purpose for the acquisition? Simply to eliminate the competition.
Also, Belizeans get set back 20 years.
You had taxpayers of Belize paid hundreds of millions of dollars, all in the name of promoting competition. And now, with this move, we would be end up right back where we were with a monopoly.
But it's more than just a step back.
It's very nearly treason, because the deal was secretly orchestrated. The family of the Deputy Prime Minister and Michael Ashcroft appear to have been working together and against the government of Belize.
Over 20 years ago, the Briseños got a secret interconnection agreement from BTL. Now, BTL is going to spend $80 million to buy the company they helped grow.
Michael Ashcroft's cutthroat strategy.
You get the politicians you vote for.
Do you feel crime in Belize is out of control? What if we could reduce the opportunities for crime by reducing dependence on what criminals want most? Cash. Imagine a Belize where anyone with a mobile phone could safely transfer digital money. Imagine the lives that could be saved. Modern banking and digital payments make this possible. But it won't happen unless the regulator makes these options affordable and available everywhere. But he refuses to do so. That's not leadership, Mr. Governor. That's arrogance.
Child marriage, a global problem, but it's also a Belize problem. In 2024, Belize amended the Marriage Act. Legal marriage age, 18, no exceptions. Child marriage is now illegal in Belize, but early unions are still putting children at risk in many communities. What drives this? Poverty, limited access to education and health services, violence and unsafe homes, and harmful social norms that have gone unchallenged for too long. Many cases involve adolescent girls and older men, leading to teen pregnancy, school dropout, and limited opportunities. To protect our children and prevent early unions, everyone has a role to play. Share the facts about the law, encourage teens to stay in school, create safe spaces where young people feel supported. Support families facing violence or stress by helping them access services. Strengthen youth programs and parent support. Assist young people in getting access to the information, services, and support they need. Empower both girls and boys to understand their rights and make safe choices. When families, schools, churches, and communities work together, we can end early unions and protect every child's future. Know the law. Share this message. Support our children. End child marriage and early unions in Belize.
Mark Lizarraga once stood tall in the Senate demanding transparency, accountability, and honesty with the people's money.
We in the business community were very
vocal. He spoke out against corruption, insisting that leaders must answer to the public. But today, as chairman of BTL, on a contract worth well over $250,000 annually, his tune has changed.
Yes, I'm the chairman.
Yes, I know that negotiations are.
The voice that once called for openness now seems silent when it comes to corporate responsibility.
That is
It's a travesty.
Belize deserves leaders who practice what they preach in government and in business.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
18 million. That's how much the Briceño family stands to make from the sale of Smart to BTL.
But what is the purpose for the acquisition? Simply to eliminate the competition.
Also, Belizeans get set back 20 years.
You had taxpayers of Belize paid hundreds of millions of dollars, all in the name of promoting competition. And now, with this move, we would be end up right back where we were with a monopoly.
But it's more than just a step back.
It's very nearly treason, because the deal was secretly orchestrated. The family of the Deputy Prime Minister and Michael Ashcroft appear to have been working together and against the government of Belize.
Over 20 years ago, the Briceños got a secret interconnection agreement from BTL. Now, BTL is going to spend $80 million to buy the company they helped grow.
Michael Ashcroft's cutthroat strategy.
You get the politicians you vote for.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
He's a PUP minister, but Karim Musa today complimented yesterday's UDP protest. Well, sort of. He said that it's indicative of a healthy democracy. But more than that, he called the UDP's crowd, those that stormed BTL, a decent flex. But while he supported the act of protest against the proposed acquisition, does he support the deal? Various sectors have opposed it, but the cabinet has reserved announcement of its position, even as the Prime Minister has publicly endorsed the acquisition, even going so far as to characterize it as an emergency for BTL. But despite that PM's public eagerness to close a deal from which his family stands to benefit substantially, Musa kept on appearances and held the cabinet line that they're waiting until the end of the consultations.
I think it was a good demonstration of a healthy democracy. I think it was primarily led by the United Democratic Party and some participation from some of the unions. I think it was a decent flex, so to speak. But again, it demonstrates a healthy democracy to have dissenting, opposing views, and of course doing so in a respectful manner, in a peaceful manner. So, you know, not completely peaceful, but I think overall it went well for them.
It's not just the UDP, it's the NTUCB, BCCI, independent senators, they've all expressed their dissent. Why is it that, you know, cabinet is silent? Do you guys not believe that there should have been more consultations?
No, I think it is important to note because certain media houses have been stating that, in effect, the Prime Minister is influencing the decisions of the board. And I think it is very important that Cabinet at this time, since it will not be the ones to make the decision, but rather the board, that they do not in any way try to interfere or influence the decision of board members. If it is that Cabinet says yes or no, that might have some impact, or at least the media might say that Cabinet is trying to intervene in the decision making process. And so that is why Cabinet made the decision that it will actually announce its position after consultations have concluded.
Member of Cabinet and a politician, at what point do you believe the government should take into consideration the public clearly does not want this, and the Prime Minister is calling it a business deal, but policy-wise it will impact the entire industry?
Like I said previously, I think that we are going to have healthy competition regardless, albeit it's going to be in the form of international service providers. But when it comes to this decision, it is going to be made by the board of directors. And I think that they must consider all of the angles, all of the different views, even though they are dissenting views that have been expressed, like you said, from the Chamber of Commerce, from the NTUCB. In coming to their final decision, it cannot just be that you hear just BTL's perspective or what they think will be profitable for the country or better for the consumers of the country. We must also factor in all of these dissenting views as well in coming to a decision.
But will BTL wait until those consultations are over or even consider them? They were preparing to vote for a provisional approval of the acquisition yesterday, despite the Social Security directors, who represent a 33% holding, not yet taking a position. And also despite the fact that the PUC has made no public announcement that it approves of the acquisition. So what does Musa think about the government-appointed board members essentially trying to make an end run around a regulator and civil society?
I think you're perfectly right that the consultation has to be comprehensive, thorough, and take into consideration all of these various perspectives, including the Chamber of Commerce. I know that the media has been reporting about a provisional approval that was coming. I don't know anything about that, but at least I am grateful that it was initially put off, because this is a deal that should have been concluded some 2 to 3 weeks ago. I don't think that would have been good. I think that it's good now that they're having this consultation process with all the stakeholders. And so I don't know anything about the provisional approval, but I just know and I think that the best way forward is to have that consultation be thorough.
How concerned are you all about the implications of this entire situation politically, popularity, voters, and given I know elections is a good while away, but if you look at history, you wouldn't want history to repeat itself where the 2008 election is concerned.
Yeah, that's a reality that we have to consider as politicians going. This is our first year into our second term, and so that is something that definitely weighs on every politician's mind right now in this critical juncture. Again, it's not going to be a decision that will be made up to the politicians, but rather the board. And so we have to voice our concerns moving forward with a deal like this, given all of the pushback, so to speak, that we have been seeing.
And while he hasn't said what he thinks of the deal, as Minister of Labour, Musa is siding with the BTL retirees demanding their pension payments. A recent CCJ judgment found that even though BTL had a pension scheme, they still needed to pay employees who've left the company their severance as well as pension. It's a huge payout for BTL, more than $10 million for those they have agreed to pay, with another 130 former employees now making the same demand. The cost could go as high as $20 million. But Musa says once the CCJ made the ruling, the board has to abide by it, especially since those workers' labours are the reason why the company can even consider acquiring SpeedNet. Here's how he puts it.
I do not know if that is the decision of the board, that they will not honor these claims. As the Minister of Labour, I think it's important for me to weigh in, and I hope I'm not doing so prematurely, but this is a matter that has been ventilated all the way to the CCJ. There's no other alternative. There's no other appeal process. And so in my respectful opinion, if these employees are qualified for severance based on the CCJ ruling, then by all means, man, you have to pay these people, because how do you think you're in a position today to be buying out other companies if it's not on the backs of these hardworking people from the company? And so if the CCJ has given that ruling, then in my respectful opinion, BTL has to pay them.
But Musa did not have that level of clarity when we asked him about the customs kickback scheme, which we exposed last night. As you heard, car importers paid a broker just over $7,000 to import a car through the northern border. But the duty paid to government was only $3,000. And where did the other $4,000 go? Well, that is the bite. Allegedly a figure that is kicked back to corrupt customs officers. Now, it's been happening for decades, but right now car dealers are saying the bite is too big. Since last night's story, we have heard more than a dozen credible accounts of the bite paid to one specific brokerage agent being more than half of the total amount paid, meaning the government is getting about 30 to 40% of the total amount paid. The rest, well, that's the bite. It adds up to millions of dollars annually, and we will be digging to see where it all goes. Musa said he has heard his own anecdotal cases.
I haven't seen the story, but I've heard a lot of anecdotal cases like that. And of course, the Customs Department and other departments in government have been prone to this type of corrupt activity for quite some time. And so if there is any credibility behind these reports, it certainly has to be investigated at all levels, including possibly the police department.
And as Minister of Immigration, Musa said the case of Texas oilman Rhett Kennedy did not reach his department. Kennedy and his party flew into the country on a private jet on January 15th. They held business meetings with some well-connected persons, and when they were flying out on the 17th, Kennedy was found with a weapon by PGIA security. He was briefly held and then allowed to go with a reprimand and the surrender of his weapon. Police said he had gotten clearance by the U.S. Embassy and Interpol. Our internet searches show that he was named in an investigative news report into fuel smuggling for a Mexican cartel. Musa dodged all that, though. He said it's not within his ministry's purview.
So the Ministry of Immigration, as you know, does not have purview over what you bring into the country. That is for Customs and the Police Department. From what I am informed, based on media reports, he brought in the firearm into the country and was allowed to leave after that. And so that is, the Immigration Department can only allow you the right to leave if it is that you have been cleared by the Police Department. So clearly he was cleared by the department before he left.
And while he doesn't know much about the Kennedy case, what about the Budna case? He's not the Minister of Home Affairs anymore, but we asked him once again whether he believes
going to be in a court battle with the media for repeating some of the very libelous, defamatory allegations of Arthur Sal to the Supreme Court. And I have a right to defend myself because I know I had nothing to do with that. But when you look at it, it is clear from the video footage that something has committed, a crime was committed. It doesn't justify the fact that we're talking here about a very dangerous individual. And yes, so many vulnerable children are now safer because he's no longer on the streets of Belize. But at the same time, two wrongs don't make it right. So in my opinion, yes, it is clear a crime was committed. I did everything in my purview, including encouraging the release of the video footage, including calling for an independent investigation. So in terms of my personal position, I know that I did absolutely nothing wrong and I did absolutely everything right that I could have.
And as you heard him say, his attorney Edwin Flowers has issued lawyer letters to at least 3 media houses for what he classifies as defamatory statements made by Budna's attorney Arthur Saldiva and aired on the news. Channel 7 received one of those letters, our first from Musa, so we asked him today, what was that final straw after all his years in the cut and thrust of politics?
How did you go from being a good guy to a boy named Sue?
Yeah, so as you know, it's been 11 years since I've been in political life as a public figure, and I have enjoyed quite a wonderful relationship with the media, taken some tough licks on the chin at times, and I believe that that is all in fair comment. But at the end of the day, I do have to return to private life as an attorney. I do have children who look up to me, and so I have a reputation to preserve. And I'm certain that the media can appreciate in this particular circumstance. I even warned by text because I saw Channel 5 had put out a post before, and I sent it around to all the media houses warning that this is clearly defamatory information, and so I have to take a personal stand. It doesn't mean there's any love lost with the media, of course not, but at the same time I do have a reputation to protect.
Later on in the news, we've got more from Budna. We'll show you the license plates of the vehicle he believes abducted him, and we'll take you to Orange Walk, where you'll see how the industry is trying to counter agricultural pests and climate change by investing in new cane varieties. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. There will also be a bike rally throughout the streets of Blue Creek and Belize City on February 7th and 14th respectively. All participants will get a free oil change. Check out our Facebook page for more details. Love Your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquit Equipment Parts Service.
Enhanced service and faster sickness benefit claim processing are at your fingertips with SSB's healthcare feature, accessible via the My Social Security self-service portal. Your convenience during illness is key. Now your doctor can certify your period of illness, and your employer can confirm your employment details digitally, eliminating the need to visit our office. But wait, it gets better. You can also review the medical certificate provided by your doctor in your My Social Security account, along with real-time processing updates, keeping you informed. To ensure a smooth process, always review your electronic medical certificate before you hit submit. Upon submission, your employer is notified via email of your claim submitted to SSB and must respond within 48 hours for your claim to be automatically processed. For more information, check out our guides on our website and YouTube pages. Social Security at your fingertips.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible, para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m., en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The Vital Statistics Unit is undergoing a digital transformation. This transformation is designed to make accessing vital records faster, easier, more efficient, and more affordable for all Belizeans. The CRVS offers 3 main types of services. You can register births, deaths, marriages, adoptions, and even apply for a deed poll to legally change your name. You can make amendments and corrections to existing records. Information services cover the issuance of various certificates for records that are already registered. Each certificate will now include a unique QR code, which can be scanned and verified. You will also receive regular updates on your application status via email or SMS. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistics services. To learn more, visit our website and start using the CRVS today.
Do you feel crime in Belize is out of control? What if we could reduce the opportunities for crime by reducing dependence on what criminals want most? Cash. Imagine a Belize where anyone with a mobile phone could safely transfer digital money. Imagine the lives that could be saved. Modern banking and digital payments make this possible. But it won't happen unless the regulator makes these options affordable and available everywhere. But he refuses to do so. That's not leadership, Mr. Governor. That's arrogance.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
What happens when one person decides to make a change? In communities across Belize, we're seeing the answer.
Hi, I'm Kayla Norris. I love being outside and surrounded by nature. When I heard about the national cleanup, I signed up right away. I don't litter, and I help clean up Belize, one piece of trash at a time.
It starts with one choice, one moment, one step towards something better. Across our beautiful country, everyday heroes are making a difference. In just one day, nearly 2,000 volunteers collected over 40,000 pounds of garbage. From local groups to national partners, Belizeans are uniting to protect what we love. Every cleanup, every piece of properly disposed waste, every conversation, it all creates a ripple effect. But we can't just continue to clean up after everybody's mess. Let's prevent it and be proactive, not reactive. Because remember, our Belize, our responsibility. Bine.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. There will also be a bike rally throughout the streets of Blue Creek and Belize City on February 7th and 14th, respectively. All participants will get a free oil change. Check out our Facebook page for more details. Love Your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
Enhanced service and faster sickness benefit claim processing are at your fingertips with SSB's healthcare feature accessible via the My Social Security self-service portal. Your convenience during illness is key. Now your doctor can certify your period of illness and your employer can confirm your employment details digitally, eliminating the need to visit our office. But wait, it gets better. You can also review the medical certificate provided by your doctor in your My Social Security account, along with real-time processing updates, keeping you informed. To ensure a smooth process, always review your electronic medical certificate before you hit submit. Upon submission, your employer is notified via email of your claim submitted to SSB and must respond within 48 hours for your claim to be automatically processed. For more information, check out our guides on our website and YouTube pages. Social Security at your fingertips.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Right now, San Pedranos are protesting the conviction of a high school teacher who was found guilty of sexually assaulting two second-form students. The protest, which is being led by his daughter Vivian Magdaleno, comes on the heels of Alex Norales' transfer to the Belize Central Prison, where he was sentenced to 18 months. The protesters believe the school teacher was innocently charged and wrongfully convicted. Our Jaleesa Roberts is out on the island tonight and she joins us live. Jaleesa?
Can you hear me?
Yes, welcome Jaleesa. Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening on the ground at this moment? Have a little bit later on as we rejoin Jaleesa, currently out in San Pedro. Until then, two MIDH employees are recovering from their injuries at the KHMH tonight, lucky to be alive after their government-assigned pickup collided with a loaded cement trailer. It happened around 2 this afternoon near mile 9 on the George Price Highway when the westbound Isuzu D-Max pickup truck clipped the rear end of the trailer transporting cement bricks. That caused the driver to lose control, flip, and veer off the highway into a ditch, while the flatbed truck also shot off the highway and landed in the ditch. Passers-by assisted in pulling the driver and his passenger from the pickup. Both received injuries. Both injured drivers were taken to the hospital, where tonight they are stable with cuts, bruises, and a lot of pain. The driver reportedly sustained a broken arm. As you heard in our last segment, former Police Minister Kareem Musa feels the children of Belize are safer because a citizen, Joseph Budna, was extrajudicially extradited, apparently by police to Guatemala, which is a hostile country. Well, Budna will disagree, and he continues to exert all efforts to try and prove that police did it. He has unearthed footage he captured in July of 2025 when the vehicle that abducted him first started following him. Jules Vasquez had a look at those videos.
Back in September, we identified this 2013 GMC Equinox as the one that abducted Joseph Budna. Well, Budna has now produced this footage from his email archive. He says that this silver equinox is the one that was following him in July. And he believes with certainty it is the one that abducted him on that night. When we checked with our sources, the license plate BZ48232 is traced back to a 52-year-old male in the Cayo district, although police sources tell us it was rented from an outfit in Belize City. We'll be following up on that, but the footage of the likely suspect vehicle is one more missing piece in a kidnapping mystery that police seem to be in no rush to try and solve.
We now go back over to Jaleesa, who is on standby currently in San Pedro. Jaleesa.
All right. Hopefully it's working this time around. Hi, good night, everyone. And I'm here in San Pedro at Central Park, where they are having the protest for Mr. Alex Norales. And so I'm joined with his daughter, Vivian Norales, who was able to mobilize all these persons to come out here. As she had mentioned, her father was a very loved educator. And so, Vivian, can you talk to us about what exactly has transpired between yesterday and today?
Well, yesterday my dad got the sentencing. He's given 1.5 years. I was very outraged, and my dad is a person that he loves going on Facebook Live and speaking up against corruption, whether it be politically, whether it be in the schools, whether it just be as a regular citizen. And I think that's the reason why we're here in this dilemma today. Honestly, I want to give thanks to the people on social media. Social media really is powerful, and I'm seeing that today with my family. Everyone that tagged me into the news outlets that shared my posts, so that we can get the word out about this case regarding my dad. The people that are standing behind me are students. You have females of all ages. You have males of all ages. You have past students. You have their parents that have trusted my father with their children. I mean, if that doesn't speak something about his character, then I don't know what else will.
All right. And so would you say that this is a direct attack against your family?
Of course. Of course. I mean, without even going into so much details, but I will share one because it's court knowledge. It's out there in the public. The magistrate is a teacher at San Pedro Junior College. Matter of fact, she taught my brother. Not only that, the San Pedro High School and the San Pedro Junior College share the same board of directors. And if that's a conflict of interest, I don't know what else. Not only that, the counselor that was directly involved in this case, the one actually going around to get affidavits and get statements from students, she is also a part of the board, you know. And so our attorney filed for us for her to recuse herself from this case, and she denied it.
Hello, Jaleesa. Hello. We'll be joining her a little bit later on, and just to find out what's happening. This is a developing story out in San Pedro. We will be keeping you updated as soon as there is more information coming in. There are approximately 30 different varieties of cane that grow in Belize, and some of them are of a higher quality than others. To ensure stable and consistent production of sugar, the factory, BSI ASR, has taken to researching new varieties of cane to cultivate, one that can withstand crop diseases and varying weather conditions. Today they gave us some insight on their new approach to planting a new variety of cane through several methods. Jo Marie Lanza has this story.
In order for an agricultural crop to survive, particularly cane, the varieties being planted need to be rotated every so often. In last year's sugar crop, the yield did not meet targets compared to previous years. In the past, the factory has processed over 1.3 million tons of cane, and this time it fell to about 900,000 tons. Farmers have lost acres of cane to disease and other climate change factors. And as a result of this, ASR-BSI has begun to explore other varieties of cane to find types that are not only disease-resistant, but of a higher quality and yield per acre.
About 83% of the current cane that we have in the north of the country is in two principal varieties. Now, they've done very well. I mean, they have, they're really good varieties, and they've lasted well for a long period of time. But any modern sugar industry needs to keep switching out its cane varieties to make sure you're improving them, and that it's not just improving them in the sense of the yield that they provide and the quality of sugar that they contain, but it's also their resistance to a lot of things, including climate change, so drought and flooding as well, and also to diseases and pests. So the project today, I'm pleased to announce the approval of a $3.5 million Belize dollar project to construct greenhousing and shade housing. We'll be bringing tissue culture plantlets from Florida, from our operations in Florida, and we will be planting those tissues or the plantlets here and bringing them to a point where we can then put them out into other fields to grow for seed for farmers in the future with brand new varieties that we've been developing over the last 10 years through our relationship with the Barbados Cane Breeding Station. And we're very confident these will be better varieties.
By March, they hope to import 750,000 plantlets to Belize. They will be propagated in the fields where an irrigation system is being built to ensure strong and rapid growth. The stalks will then be propagated for a second time before the seeds can be made commercially available to farmers.
Need to have very good seed to take out to farmers for them to use in their fields. It starts off by producing tissue cultured plants, which starts off at the I'd say the pinnacle of the pyramid. From there, we further propagate in the fields to expand the amount of seed that we have. And then in year 3, finally, we go out to farmers. When we identify a variety, the main limitation at that point in time is the seed stocks that we have. And at this point, we're very, very limited in the seed stocks. Although we found superior genetics in our experiments, but getting it out to farmers fast enough to really make an impact is what has slowed us. Us adopting tissue culture then unlocks that, where we can then begin to get varieties out to farmers much faster.
60% of the industry is covered in the B79 variety of cane. But ASR BSI is pushing to broaden the range of varieties being planted.
Choosing a new variety is a long process. These varieties have been under development now for 10, 12 years. You start off with little seed buds, really, that you start to develop. We send them to Barbados. They're crossed with other varieties so that you get a better variety, you get a stronger variety. And then you keep developing them. We throw out most of the ones that we try because they're not better than the originals. They have to be better than the originals. And that's both in the sense of the amount of yield you're going to get, so the tons of cane per acre, and the amount of sugar that the cane will contain, the amount of sugar per acre as well. But as I said, it's a long process. We've now got 11 new varieties that we're pushing forward. 4 of them we want to commercialize quite rapidly because we think it's going to be a game changer, frankly, for the farmers and for the whole industry.
The current practice of using cane to plant cane, meaning they are cut down to nubs and boiled at 50 degrees Celsius to try and remove diseases, is not always 100% viable.
The seed that we have been producing is clean seed. It's free of disease. It is genetically pure. The current practice that we are attempting right now, putting in interventions in place to change that, is to use seed from perhaps from your neighbor, or you've replanted a small portion there and use it for your own. However, you're not guaranteed that that seed is free of disease, right? It hasn't been treated in the right way that it needs to be treated for it to be classified as seed. What we're now doing and very excited about, right, and investing in this project is to produce seed for the general farming community to gain access to clean seed at affordable prices and to have new varieties out there for them.
And once these varieties are made available commercially, McLaughlin says that farmers will have numerous opportunities to be subsidized and have access to purchasing seeds, with a goal to renovate, modernize, and rejuvenate the industry in a sustainable way.
You're aware that we have a lot of support coming in at the moment, both from the government and from the development community. And the 5 Cs, which is the regional climate change body that has access to the Green Climate Fund, has helped us to develop a project that's worth 50 million Belize dollars over 5 years. That project's actually going to buy the seeds that we produce to help subsidize the cost of that for the farmers. The 5Cs and also World Bank funding and government funding through DFC is going to subsidize the replanting for farmers by 40 cents in the dollar, so 40% subsidies to help farmers overcome this indebtedness burden that they have had for a long time.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
And in finding solutions to other challenges in the industry, labor is one of them, which has led to company to introduce mechanized harvesters. Could this be the future of cane harvesting? McLellan weighed in.
What we've seen through our trial processes in that, we are moving cane fields from really unsupportable levels of yield, so maybe 7, 8, 9 tons of cane per acre, to 32, 33, 34 tons of cane per acre. So in the same acreage, you're going to get a lot more cane, and that, of course, helps revenue for the farmer, and it helps bring in more cane to the mill. What we're finding, the challenges, modern challenges, many industries are in the same position. There simply isn't the labor now to hand-cut cane, especially in very sparsely inhabited cane fields, because cane cutters are paid on the number of tons of cane that they cut. So if there aren't many tons of cane in the field, then they're going to be reluctant to go in there and cut it. We're increasing mechanized harvesting, and so are the farmers. There are, I think, 14 new mechanized harvesters, or not new, but new to the industry, across the industry now, in the hands of private farmers. We and our contractor partners are expanding the amount of cane that we're mechanized harvesting as well for farmers. So we're hoping this year that we'll bring about 30% of the cane in mechanized, so it'll be cut by mechanized harvesters.
When the sugar industry was on the verge of a collapse recently, GOB sprung into action, and approximately $3 million in funds was rendered to the Belize Sugar Cane Farmers Association at the start of the season. We asked Minister Osman Martinez about it today.
It was actually $500,000 at the beginning to do a pilot test with the fusarium, which was very successful. Thereafter, an additional $2.5 million. And the only reason why the sugar industry is experiencing a harvest and being optimistic, it was because of Prime Minister's and his cabinet response on a timely and effective moment. Other than that, this industry would have collapsed. The uncertainty 6 months ago was whether we will have a harvest or not this year, and everyone from the north can confirm that. So they used $2.5 million through CIRDI, and there is an additional, I believe, is $4 million that will be coming from CRISAP to CIRDI to continue to support the industry. And in addition to that, the Prime Minister has identified additional funds to work on some of the roads, the main arteries, such as the one from San Esteban to Progreso. I know there is another one from San Felipe to San Carlos, well, Indian Church and San Carlos. And there are other arteries that have been identified within a strategy that was developed by the Prime Minister's senior policy advisor, Dr. Avila. And of course, it was done in consultation with all the stakeholders.
A Buttonwood Bay homeowner has retained a lawyer to challenge the construction of an apartment complex that she says encroaches on her property and violates building regulations. On Monday, that attorney Emmanuel Williams issued a cease and desist letter to the property owner demanding an immediate halt to construction, disclosure of all permits and approvals, and compensation for trespass and loss in property value. The letter warns that legal action may follow, including an application for demolition of the offending structure. A second letter dated yesterday was sent to Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner, calling on the City Council to issue a stop order. Attorney-at-law Emmanuel Williams says the building breaches the mandatory 4-foot boundary setback.
Essentially, our client reached out to us recently. She resides in the Button Bay area concerning the construction of a building behind her home, which one encroaches on her property to some degree on the southern part of her home. There was an arrangement initially between herself and the proprietor to rebuild the fence that separates both premises. And instead of rebuilding the fence, what obtained is a construction of a two-story building that not only encroaches on our property, but breaches the 4-foot boundary setback. Well, our client told us that she is distressed. She feels intimidated. She was afraid of what's happening. She said that individuals that are conducting the construction are smoking, harassing, making noise, and even to some degree recently, one of them exposed himself to her in an unbecoming manner. So she's pretty distressed and shaken up about the situation, and it's causing her to not be able to enjoy her property as she would like.
And is she looking into, let's say if they decide that the property will stay how it is she intending to move? Because it's a major inconvenience for her, as you've explained it.
Well, it's we're instructed that it's a family home. She's been there all her life, all her memories. And you can appreciate that property is not just a piece of land for some people.
The attorney for the owner of the offending building, Steve Pereira, says, quote, "are to inform you that there is no encroachment taking place as the constructed building does not enter into the other parcel of land. We are currently in discussions with the attorney for the other side and expect to settle this matter amicably shortly. As a show of good faith, we are arranging for a surveyor to visit the property to confirm the property lines and to ascertain that there is in fact no encroachment taking place." Every year, Caribbean Shores receives $180,000 for its Community Development Fund. According to the area rep, it varies according to different factors such as the size of the constituency. But how has Musa been using his share? And is he willing to open the books to account for it? Here's what he said.
Are you willing to open the books to the media to show us how those taxpayer monies are being spent?
So each of us, each area representative, both UDP and PUP, as you have seen, we get an allocation each month. It varies depending on your constituency numbers. Those receipts have all been forwarded to the Cabinet Secretary's office, to the Ministry of Finance, and so they have the records. It is now up to them, based on the FOIA request, to see if they're going to release all of those records. I know it's bulky. It could probably fill up this entire room that we're in right now because it's been several years since we've had the benefit of the Community Development Fund. And so the receipts are many, but those are in the possession of the Cabinet Secretary.
What are a couple of the projects off the top of your head that you would say benefited from that in your constituency?
So we have been able to assist constituents personally with housing materials, with medical assistance, funeral expenses. But in terms of projects within our constituency, all 5 or 6 parks within our constituency have been refurbished. So Buttonwood Bay Dolphin Park, Lopez Mateos Park has a brand new basketball court. We also have Program Park, Noel Ferguson Park as well. So a lot of it has gone into our parks in our constituency. And last year, I think we had graded over 18 streets in the University Heights and other parts of Caribbean Shores. And so you could see where the money is well spent and documented in Caribbean Shores.
We also asked Musa his thoughts on the police department not inviting the media to this year's National Kampstad. Every year since the POP took office, the media headed to Belmopan and had the opportunity to speak with the Compol, who at the time was Chester Williams, and the former Home Affairs Minister. This time around, the new Compol and new minister decided not to extend the invite. But Musa didn't offer any words of advice for his successor.
I'm sure that you will have an opportunity to interview Minister Mira and the Commissioner of Police on the results of last year and the Comstat statistics. And so whether it's this week, next, I'm sure that you'll come across them to interview them on those statistics. So I don't know what the reason was for them not inviting you, but I'm sure you'll have an opportunity to question them on that.
But the fact is that they didn't invite us to this event that we're invited to every single year. It's for public transparency.
So you should ask them why they didn't invite you.
You want to give them any advice?
I just like spending time with you, so I always invite you know. My birthday, I spend time to know.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll take you inside the St. John's Credit Union now $14 million headquarters. And Jules Vasquez has his tribute to George Fraser, the lion of the labor movement. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Welcome to a new era of civil registration in Belize. Introducing new digital services through the Civil Registry and Vital Statistics System, CRVS. This transformation is designed to make accessing vital records faster, easier, more efficient, and more affordable for all Belizeans. You can access vital records needed for business, travel, healthcare, and other needs. If you prefer face-to-face assistance, our friendly and efficient staff are here to help. The CRVS now offers both e-certificates and paper certificates. The CRVS is designed for all Belizeans, from government officials to professionals, from rural communities to our migrant population. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistics services. To learn more, visit our website and start using the CRVS today.
7.
Tonight, St. John's Credit Union reopened its doors at a brand new location after outgrowing its old branch office. They're located now on Buttonwood Bay Boulevard and have space to accommodate their growing staff and membership. Courtney Menzies was at the Grand Story.
St. John's Credit Union has moved from the cramped space on Basso Street and the even smaller space on the Philip Golson Highway to a larger, sleeker, more modern. Outgrown their old location, but the pandemic put a wrench in their expansion plan. Still, they pushed on and were able to cut the ribbon to their new building today.
It's an achievement planning for years, probably 10, 15 years. By moving to the north side at a rental location in 2018. Then when we were starting to plan this along, and we had to basically wait 3 years before we started again. There are multiple reasons. One, we outgrew our current office space. Room for any more staff, and the growth in the credit union was demanding more staff and better facilities. So we're looking at future growth and trying to find a strategic location where it would crime. You have to consider access to parking. Location proved to be convenient in all of those areas.
Cheap, with the land costing $1.3 million. However, after considering various factors, the board decided
to a back street off Coney Drive, but it was suitable in size, and we designed the building so that there's parking both at the front and in the back. The driving nowadays, we still probably don't have enough parking, but we'll get there. But essentially, the thing was we literally did a study and zoomed in on the area and found this one and paid the $1.3 million. Now we're looking at trying to get an extra lot just for parking, and the price is even more than that.
And for the Caribbean Shores area rep, he says it's a welcomed addition to the
Today is a proud moment, not just for staff, but for all its members. It's 30,000 members that it serves. And so I am here as the area representative for is a welcomed addition to the landscape, to our economy. As you know, Coney Drive was built many years ago under the Honorable Jose Coy when he was area representative. And since then, it has truly become a thrive, the staff and the administration for in Caribbean Shores.
The combined cost of the land, the building, and dollars. Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
In our last segment, we showed you how the sugarcane industry is diversifying the varieties of fine sugar with Ziplocs. Previously, these were found in stores all across the SAR will now be selling them locally to supermarkets. So what does this mean for the old school tie bags on shelves? Well, BSI's director.
Last year, January, when we first took a tour of BSI ASR's warehouse that was stacked and packed to the ceiling with retailed sugar produced in Belize, we learned that GOB would not give them the green light despite the sugar shortage in the country at the BSI ASR had lobbied for an increase in the controlled price of sugar to be made available on the domestic market. And well, they got it. As of yesterday, they commenced their first sales.
As many of you know, how we've traditionally sold sugar here in Belize is we sell it in industrial size packaging, usually 50 or 100 pound bags. From normally in just clear plastic bags, they would use a Sharpie pen and put the pound and the price on that. A much higher quality product that meets high quality food standards do that. And so that law change occurred earlier this month. Because of that, brown sugar and retail package white sugar. I've actually been producing packaged sugar for a couple of years now. We have made the investments and seed, and we have been trying to get this same product into the domestic market.
Chavarria says that Belizeans now have a choice between a prepackaged premium product, Thai bags. But whatever you may choose, a controlled price remains.
The maximum that it can sell for is, I believe, 86 cents per pound in the Orange Walk and Belize districts for brown sugar, and 96 cents in the Orange Walk, Belize districts for plantation white. I believe what the government is on the south of the country, that makes sense given that there's a higher transport with that. So I think the maximum control prices in those districts will be slightly higher. In terms of the retail packaged sugar, that is no longer under price control. We are more or less selling the sugar at about 15 cents more per pound at the mill, but what the landed on what the distributor and the retailers charge for that. But from our standpoint, the range that we are looking.
And as mentioned in their previous tour, the packaging will make it difficult to smuggle and sell, reducing challenges. Consumers choose to purchase this premium product. Chavarria says it's the supermarkets and retail.
If it is that supermarkets or even the consumers say, look, I don't want to pay this retail packaged sugar, that will still be available to them. But if it's that the supermarket say, look, I really don't want to be selling this type of sugar in my shop. I don't want to hire people to bag it in the supermarket to say, look, I really prefer just selling this premium product and I don't want to be selling these type bags anymore. So the market we see will develop and dictate what we end up doing. Whatever direction it goes.
Jomari Lanza, 7 News.
The Bag President of Guyana, Dr. Mohamed Irfane Ali, will be landing in Belize on Sunday afternoon. It's the first time. PGIA, Dr. Ali will be heading straight to Orange Walk via a motorcade, where he will join Prime Minister John Bersenyu on his farm. The President's visit will last 3 days, and during this time, he will address the opening of the new session of Parliament. He will also work closely with the productive sector since he is the lead head of government in CARICOM for agriculture. He will also hold bilateral meetings with the Governor-General Froila Salam. You can catch his arrival live on Channel 7 and our streaming platforms on Sunday afternoon at 1:30. As we told you earlier, San Pedranos tonight protested the conviction of a high school teacher who was found second form students. The event is organized by his daughter Vivian Morales, who spoke to our
to bring him down, and it can be political, it can be out there, but today I can say that they got him for now, but we will make sure that we get justice after all. He's not a liar, and he's definitely not a predator.
We'll have the full report from San Pedro. Tribute to the man who dominated the headlines on many nights. That's George Fraser, who made his name as a primarily for the teachers union, but also served. And Jules Vasquez covered his press conferences for decades. Here's what he found in the archives.
You could call him Frontline Fraser. My friend George never backed Musa or Ashcroft, and he never took a back seat or left the front line. This was in 1994.
Giving certain people these additional benefits, and we feel that government could give more than 12%, and then we work out the rest.
And in 2004, he was even more militant. Still,
it is the workers' money, and we need to do. See, next week, Friday, they not pay. Well, hell, we act by action. Not anything. 17th of December, we not bloody pay. A freeze or increment, and now this cut, and we are not prepared for that in any democratic constraint and do their things within the law. And we hope that they decide to create a situation which could, get out of hand.
all that led to 2005, where the groundswell of opposition to the Musa administration was never gave up the fight, never apologized, never stopped believing. Later years, he spoke to XTV about the forever struggle against iniquity in high places.
We have to say that, and take we for no fool and money. We want genuine. It's a good country. The waste and abuse must stop. If not, we must put our country and our people first. BNTU!
Fraser's funeral is set for Saturday morning at Sacred Heart College. And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Come and see the streaming video on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Have a pleasant evening. Join Miriam Abdul